You've been listening to Ken Lane, the Mountain Gardener. Green thumbs learned while working in the Family Garden Center. Now welcome back to the Mountain Gardener.
And we are back with Lisa Waterslane. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? We can learn from that. Gardening is kind of a shared experience, isn't it?
Very much so.
People kind of go back and forth. Neighbors are talking. What's that plant? Oh, how'd you do that? So, and that's what we want to share in part here. So, welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Always good to be back.
Really? What do you like most about being in a small studio with your favorite husband?
Well, I really
Your
like it.
favorite husband.
I really like it when you're drinking coffee.
Sometimes you just need a hit of espresso.
Nothing like that coffee smell to wake you up. But yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sure. No problem.
So now,
Yes.
garden questions. Should we just jump
Okay.
right in and see where it takes us?
Well, sure. Why not? Lots of questions out there. Our first one this week is from Leslie in Prescott Valley. She bought a Japanese maple and ended up putting it in a spot where it really just got too much sun.
Yeah, and wind out there.
And
Prescott Valley's wind and sun.
So she wants to know, she needs to move it, obviously. Can she do it now or should she wait until it's more dormant?
Yeah, so, okay, here's what the book says. Book says wait till it's fully dormant so the sap is not flowing in the plant because you greatly reduce the transplant risk. Okay, that's January, February, March. So it'll lose its leaves here in November, typically first part of December. Yeah, but the sap is still kind of flowing around, and so you want it to have some sustained cold. So get past the new year, Leslie, and then move it. Before you move it, come in and get one of our planting guides. It'll show you how big of the hole should be, what mulch, food, root and grow, what you need. We've got some transplant shock stuff, some juice in a bottle. It's called Root and Grow. It's magic for transplant shock. It'll be a game changer. Japanese maples are expensive plants because they're slower growing. So you do want to hold off if you can. So a true gardener to go, I can do it now if I want to. You could, but the risk goes up like eightfold as far as risk goes. If you could just wait just a few more months because we're almost there. You can move it. We're just wherever you want in the yard, but Japanese maples are not going to like to have more than 6 hours of sun, and they don't want to be in the wind. So move it to that northeast side of your gardens, under the patios, the front entrance by your front door, in that little corner area. That's where Japanese maples love to grow. Out in the yard, they look like Leslie's tree.
Right.
So you want to move it.
Yeah, so it's probably going to continue to look pretty rough, and those leaves are going to look ugly, but the tree itself will live and will be fine. So you're good holding off to transplant it.
I'm just amazed she got it to Leslie. That's a he or a she name. I'm not sure which one, right? I was just assuming. I'm amazed it lives that 100-degree. Was that like a month ago, July or first part of August? It was so hot.
Yeah.
If it survived, you've got a survivor. Just kind of move it this winter and it will thrive. You'll have a thriver at that point, not just a survivor.
A thriver. Isn't there a song? Or I Will Survive. Isn't that? Never mind.
Yeah, please don't go down that path.
All right.
Sticks.
No, I Will Survive. Isn't it Aretha Franklin or who's the other one that gets? Never mind. I'm sure somebody
This
will
is
let
not
us
a
know.
pop culture. This is a garden show, not a pop culture.
Yeah, we're not
history of the 60s pop culture
That's
show.
true. We're not good with pop culture. Okay, so Tony would like to know, is another trimming question. When's the best time to trim back a desert willow? And can I take it from a multi-trunk and make it into a single trunk?
Got that one this week too.
Really?
So now desert willows, that is a native plant that grows out towards Dewey, Humboldt, down towards Kirkland, Skull Valley, kind of the whole ridgelines. There's just a lot of them. They're beautiful. It's a tree that's up about high teens, 20 feet, no higher. And then it's got lots of these purpley to pink flowers all over it. Hummingbirds love it. And so it's a true native. It grows wild as a multi-stemmed. To train it into a single stem, just a trunk coming up, very doable. it's just going to take a couple of years to get it to do that. You just take the main trunk that looks the straightest for you, trim everything else off, and then fertilize. Get that thing to grow like crazy for you. So his question was, can I grow it in? What was the question? I lost track.
Short-term memory loss. Can he trim now?
Oh, no, don't do that.
Okay.
Stop. Don't trim now. Now what? Okay, so if you're major trimming, like I'm going to turn it into a tree, that's done in January, February, March. Again, the sap is flowing. It's not flowing. There's no bugs out to go after the cuts. It's just a lot of reasons why you want to wait in midwinter. So do your major pruning then. With that being said, the book says you can prune up to 10% of the foliage mass whenever you want. So just give it a haircut, a major branch, something's poking in the eye, dinging in the head, cut that thing off. But the major pruning, I would wait till that sap is not flowing and the bugs are not out. Disease, pestilence, there's everything's growing right now. If you have open wound, you're more likely to have something happen. So
be patient. All right. So Carla just moved into a new home in the Prescott area. She has the perfect spot for a perennial garden. She wants to know, is it too late to be planting perennials? And then part 2 of the question is, what about putting out wildflower seed?
Oh, sure. So it is very much an ideal time to start a wildflower, not so much a wildflower, a flower garden. So, and you're into your summer and autumn flowers. That's they're the biggest ones of them all, the showiest of them all. Yeah. And so you could easily get your soil ready, start planting some things, and enjoy the perennial flowers. And we've got quite a few annual flowers that came in. So pansies are here, Johnny jump ups, kales, all these things that will look good for the next 6 months. Even in the winter, it will look great. So yeah, absolutely. It is the wrong time to start wildflowers. The time to start wildflowers by seed, we've got 4 different mixes that we make here at the garden center. I guess you could cheat it. We could show her how to start it now. If you really wanted to, we could show you how to cheat. But ideally, wildflowers are started December, January, February, that midwinter, very early spring. You want those out there while the snow can still hit them. They need that freeze thaw that happens. So come see us. We can give you the inside scoop. Flower gardeners, just mentioned a survey that we had. 81% of all homeowners do some sort of flower gardening.
Cool.
So it's the number one thing that people do. It's even more than tomatoes or vegetables or fruit trees or roses. I guess roses count as flowers, don't they?
Not to Rosarian.
They did not break it down for it. They just said flowers. Homeowners that garden with flowers. So you should have flowers. Yeah. Just do the
We actually have a really nice selection of the late summer, fall perennials right now. Some beautiful echinaceas. I love the colors they're coming out with.
The rudbeckias
are beautiful. Echinacea are in.
Anything with a beckia. Ecca or Becky.
Chrysanthemums. So a lot of those plants she could easily get in now and then leave some space for the spring and summer ones.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Well, is there room for one more? Or you have one more question?
Usually no. 1 more minute. Because we rarely get through 3 questions. So I guess
I'm just on a mission to kind of finish things out.
What's on your mind, Ken Lane? What would you like to talk about?
I noticed that our alyssum has got some mildew on it.
Really?
So I ripped those things out. Trash day was yesterday. Oh. So I ripped those things out of our container pots because they were getting this white mildewy. It's all this rain, humidity stuff. So ripped those things out. I noticed that you just had pansies come in. I want to get those in and get them filling in for our containers right away. And I think that's advice we can give to quite a few folks is open up those gardens so you can receive some of these fall and winter flowers. It's unique for here. So we can grow 4 seasons. We have 4 seasons, but it's the mildest 4 seasons you can possibly have. Take advantage of it. Your neighbors from Connecticut, where you came from, they'll be jealous that you've got flowers and they're buried in snow. Ken and Lisa Lane, the Mountain Gardeners. Be back after this. If new neighbors are encroaching on your privacy, we have just the solution.
At Waters, we have an entire section of thick, bold plants dedicated to privacy.
Fall is a time to plant a new privacy hedge, and we're here as advisors.
Take a quick measurement and snap a picture before you come visit, and you'll quickly be living in privacy once again.
Plus, our team of experts know how to plant to increase plant growth next spring. We'll show you how.
Waters Garden Center. We know privacy in your backyard. You're listening to Ken Lane, aka the Mountain Gardener. Ken can be found throughout the week in Prescott at Waters Garden Center. Listen each week as he answers timely garden questions unique to mountain gardens.
If you enjoy this show and would like to hear more, please subscribe to The Mountain Gardener wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And if you'd like even more garden tips, tricks, and helpful advice, please check out my website at watersgardencenter.com for classes, videos, and more, or my online garden center at top10plants.com. Throughout the week, Lisa and I can be found here at Waters Garden Center in Prescott.